Well, today I've got to do something about these tomatoes. If you recall, these tomatoes were all volunteers. I didn't plant any of these, and when these were still coming up and they were very small, I had planted some peas here. These were big boy peas, and they did quite well, but as you can see, here's a couple of remnants of the peas, so they're still here, but I think they're, they have spent their time. They're done. But anyway, I don't want to throw these tomato plants away because there's a lot of them. And so what I'm going to do is string them up there, as you can see maybe here. I've got some other strings up here. What I'm going to do is find the biggest and best ones, and then I'm going to string them up so that they can climb. These are interdeterminate tomatoes. So if we give them something to support them, they'll do fine. Well, the first thing we've got to do is I've got to put some of these supports up. Now these are just hook eyes. They got screws on one end. They got a screw on one end, and the other end is just an open hook. So what I'm going to do is we'll put this up here in one of these. We'll drill a pilot hole right here, and then we'll put this in. Okay, now I've got a lot of these already installed in here, so this is an extra one that I put in. Now, I got to go hook up one of these plants down there, and then we'll hang it up. So now what we've got to do is find a candidate. What we want to do is get one as far over this way as we can, and one that looks like it's really doing well. And let's see, here's one, and here's one. Now, which one we pick is kind of a toss of the coin. This one already has some tomatoes on it. Now, so what I'm going to do is, if you can see this, I don't know if you can, but I've got to tie kind of a slip knot here. And you don't want to choke these off if you can help it. Let's see here. Okay, so I've got a slip knot down there. Kind of hard to see, but then then we'll wrap this string around here, kind of loosely. Now this is nylon string, so it's basically impermeable to any kind of weathering or anything like that. So that's probably a good choice. Except the problem is at the end of the year, when these tomatoes you got to clean them out. This doesn't deteriorate. So now, okay, there I got it. We're going to hang this one up. Let's find our hook, and there it is. And let's see. What I like to do is just tie a loop in it, as you can see that, and then we'll cut off the string here, right about here. Okay. And that way what we can do is we can tighten up the string on this loop. There we go. And get that tomato plant hoisted up about as high as we want. And you just tie like a little knot in here to hold it where it is, to hold the tension on it. Okay, so there we go. All right, now, so there we've got one that's held up. It's got something to hold it up now. Now what we're going to have to do is these other ones that are just right around this, we're going to have to get rid of those because they're just not going to do anything. They're going to go all over the ground. And I'll hang up as many of these as I can, maybe 5 or 6 of them. As you can see, there's like 8 feet between here, so 5 or 6 plants here will give us a lot of tomatoes. So we'll go up here and hang up the rest of these. Maybe get 5 or 6 of them, and then we'll basically get rid of the rest. Okay, I got them all strung up, and as you can see, let's see, I've got one over here, one here, One here. See, there's one, and there's another one. Another one, and another one. If you can see that off camera, I've got 6 of them. Let's see. And then there's one over here. Let me bring the camera to show you. Okay, so I've got one over here, and this one's growing out of the pipe, as you can see. And it's also strung up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 of these plants hung up now. And now, as you can see, there's a whole lot of vegetation in there. So what I'm going to have to do now is get in there and tear a lot of that out, because they're just going to grow all over the ground and they're not going to be very productive. So here goes. Well, okay, there they are. I still have a little bit of a mess to clean up, but as you can see, I've got single plants here that I can identify now. There's one, there's another one, and there's another one. There's another one. Those are probably the best ones that I've saved. And the rest of them I pulled out. And I still have some more to do, but I think I'm going to call it quits for today. So we'll see how these go. See from this side here. There we go. We'll see how these go. I imagine they'll grow a couple inches a day, so we'll be able to watch these. Anyway, there you go. And I guess I didn't notice this. Well, I hadn't mentioned this before. But see, there's tomatoes growing out of the top of this grow pipe too. Now I don't think I can leave those there because they'll plug the whole grow pipe up. But see, I've got this one here that I've got strung up, and it's growing out of there. And then I've got a whole bunch of these, and as you can see right here, the roots aren't too bad yet, but these have got to go. I think I'll just throw them out because I have enough tomatoes. Now see here, I've got another patch of tomatoes here that I'm going to have to hang up and do something with. So tomatoes everywhere, but I want to grow some other things too. Well, it's been a little while since we've done an update on the tomatoes here that we cleared out. If you remember, about a month ago, not quite a month ago, but I think give it about 5 or 6 days short of a month ago, we cleared all this out. And the tomatoes were just maybe that high or something. And take a look at them now. Let me get the camera here and show you a better shot. Okay, if you remember, they were right down to the ground. I'll try to get another shot on this to superimpose this a little bit. But as you can see, they're grown clear up to the top. Now that's about 9 feet high right there, the top. And as you can see, they're going through that light. I better get that out of there. Okay, but they're growing tall. Now you can see I've got the same strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings, and we've got more than 6 plants, and I've got to trim these off, but let's go back here where we can get a good shot at them. But there they are. Tomatoes grow really good, and it's been warm in here. That's probably why they've grown so well. And as you can see, look at that. I haven't noticed that before. There's a nice red tomato right down in there, little one. But there we go. Now there's another one over here by my grapes. These were about the same height, but as you can see, these have really taken off. And these I haven't supported yet, so I'm going to do that. I might have to just tear them out of there because they're just going to grow all over the ground and all over the floor, but I guess I'll get a few tomatoes out of them. But the tomatoes are doing quite well. Now, one more shot. These tomatoes back here. Now, these are the tomatoes that I put on the back that I was going to use as kind of a canopy. Let me back up over here where I can show you what I mean. See, I was going to plant some cauliflower along here and hopefully have these grow over like a canopy, kind of over here. But they're not growing fast enough. But as you can see, though, they're going over this pipe that I put in. You can see that long pipe. And the idea is they'll grow up and kind of bend over this pipe and grow out through here. And some of them are doing that. They're doing it pretty well. But these tomatoes are just in water. They're a floating raft. As you can see, they're growing real well. And look at that. Look in there at all these tomatoes that are getting ripe right now. Lots and lots of tomatoes. There's some back here, these little cherry tomato types. So these are doing quite well. So these are giving me a lot of tomatoes. But I was hoping for other crops of other things this year. So, but anyway, tomatoes are doing well. They're very easy to grow, and either in the dirt or in aquaponics. And here's another small tomato. That's not so small, but anyway, just thought I'd give you an update on those. They're doing quite well.